what we need to do first is if your students are on iPads, make sure that the Seesaw app is updated. If the students' apps aren't updated, maybe spend some time first thing in the morning to have the students go to the APS app catalog and just double check in there for Seesaw, and then either update or add it to their devices, which is so much easier to do when they're actually in the classroom with you. So that's kind of step one, which would be something good, and model that. And then now you can cast up on the board to show students how to sign in with Google. So one of the biggest things is please, please, please show to students that they need to be signing in with their Google account. So you're going to want to get into the iPad. They're going to want to make sure I'm a student. And instead of doing a text code or scanning a code, and it seems like that would be so much easier when you're in the classroom, right? But in order to tie everything to those licenses and everything, they're going to want to select Google email sign-in. And that's sadly going to kick them to another screen, which is going to say sign in with Google. And they're not going to want to put in their email or password because that actually is a separate license. It's not tied to Google. They're going to want to sign into Google. And every single student email address, their 9888 whatever number at aps.edu, and their password is going to be how they get into Seesaw. Now, if you are a third grade teacher, third grade students and I believe second grade students now are going to be getting Chromebooks. So previously they had iPads and now they have Chromebooks. So if you're going in through Chromebooks, one of the best things to do is to go through myaps.edu. So when the students log in, it automatically takes their number and their password and it runs that way through the Chromebook, and it's going to open up a new tab. Every device is set up where this is automatically going to come up on one of those tabs. They just need to put in their email and password. And when they get into class link, there's going to be a folder with student resources. And that's why some students have a hard time finding the Seesaw app, is it's because it's in this folder. Then they just click on that Seesaw app and it's going to bounce them out into their student journals. And another reason that we really want to do this, and there's kind of two different views, it's the same class, it looks slightly different, is that up in the top left, if students are going to PE or art and the PE and art teacher wants to use this, or you might want to set up a couple of other classes for a couple of different content areas or something, you can click on this, or the students can click on this image and just be able to drop down and click on their classes. This also enables students to get, if it seems like it's only on the desktop or on a computer though, but you can have them sign into a computer account, or maybe if you have some dinosaur desktops in your classroom, they can get access to their past work from last year now. So that's kind of awesome. So just kind of making sure that we consistently keep reiterating how to have students get into that classroom. If you do have to create a new classroom, so Maria, I think you were saying that you were working with a whole conglomeration and different group of students. We're going to show you now. I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to have Kelly get on here because she's going to be having access and actually be within the Seesaw account. So I'll wait for her to hop on there, and she's going to show you guys how to make sure and add students the correct way with their student accounts from within Seesaw.
Okay, excuse me. Okay, so when you go into Seesaw, if you already have a rostered class in Seesaw, it will show up looking like this, where it says first general hour, and it'll say your name. And then you'll see here, I already have students attached to this class. If you do not have a rostered class like this, we're going to share a link with you, like Tina was just saying, where you can create a class and add students. Let's go to the settings. So up here on the top right, you're going to use this tool feature, and this is where you'll manage your class and all of the settings. They are not set how they need to be. So let's look at how it should be for this year. So for student sign-in mode, you want to click on this and change it to email/Google. And I'm going to confirm that change. And when the check is there, then you know it's confirmed. This is essential so that students will be able to see all of their classes from all their teachers and be able to toggle back and forth. And then if you go to manage students, this is where you can see your roster of students. Now, if I click on a student, I can remove a student, which you probably aren't going to need to do unless they leave and go to a different school. I can also look in here if I need to check if their password's correct, if their email is showing up correct. I can check anything I need to here, but I can also add a student. So if you start a new class and you don't have any students, then this is where you'll go to manage students and you will just add them from here. And when you start typing their name in, any of the students at the school that you're attached to will come up. Now, you want to make sure that when you type in the student's name, they have a 98 number here. This one has a Gmail account, which is not with a 98 number. If that was a student, I would not want to add that one. I would want to make sure it's their 98 number using their APS credentials. Now this is me for a teacher. So I'm going to click this one and add, oh, I'm already added in the class. So you can add the student that way. Now, if you have your class already rostered to you and you get a new student, you just need to wait. As soon as they're added in Synergy, overnight, everything updates. So that student will show up automatically in your class the next day. You will not need to add them. If for some reason they're not in there and you need them right away, you can come here and add them. Okay, I'll keep going. So then you're going to come down here. This says students can see each other's work. We want to turn that off because we don't want students to see everything every other child does, just for privacy reasons. Because if that is turned on, then in the journal, all students can go to everybody's page and see everything they've turned in. So it really doesn't allow for student privacy. I also like to turn off items require approval. So if it's on, it's blue. I like to turn that off because if you have this turned on, then every single activity a student turns in, you have to approve it before it goes to their journal and allows them to look at it, edit it, tag people, send it to the blog. All of those types of things cannot happen until the teacher has approved it. So if you have 20 students doing 3 activities, that's 60 activities you have to approve before it goes to the journal. You can still see it in draft mode, and once it's completed, you can still send it back for editing, even if you're not requiring approval. And then make sure sample student is turned on. And then you'll want to come down here, and for the families, you will want to enable family access. That way you can send the letter home and let families create a family account where they can get updates from you and also see their children's work. And when you're ready to invite families, you'll go to this invite families. And from here, you can invite all of the families. If they don't have any information in here, then you can just share this invite link and families can create their account. If they already have an account, it may show up here.